My journey to Pakistan begins here at Abu Dhabi airport, boarding a flight to Islamabad. Welcome to my channel, I'm Zakia and I've been traveling across Pakistan with my camera in hand. This is episode 0, the story of how it all started from the airport of Abu Dhabi to the unexpected adventure in Islamabad. The flight was calm, just under 4 hours, boarding, finding my seats, watching the view from the window, even enjoying the airline food. Everything felt easy, almost routine. Little I knew that once in Islamabad, everything will change. We landed at night, therefore we made sure to book our taxi with a hotel. And after we collected our backpacks, we started with the usual procedures. Downloading an eSIM, so we have internet, we contacted our families to let them know that we landed, and then we made our way towards our taxi. Once outside the airport, not only we saw that our taxi wasn't there for us, but he wasn't going to collect us at all from the airport. The reason behind that is that the airport was fully cut off from the city because the city of Islamabad was in lockdown. And no, it wasn't a COVID lockdown, it was a political lockdown. Apparently a minister from India was visiting the city. Security was in high alert, therefore all shops and offices were closed, streets were blocked, and also the airport was cut off from everything. The only option we had in that moment is to go with one of those unlicensed taxi drivers that were the only option for us. And we ended up in an old Fiat Punto, all dented, but I have to say that it did the job. All of a sudden, we were thrown in one of the craziest and wildest traffic I've ever seen. Cars driving the wrong way down the motorways, either cutting across the pavement or straight over the grass, driving just to move forward. It was complete chaos. But I have to say that inside of that chaos, there were some ways that people understood what to do. Even if it seemed that there were no rules whatsoever, everyone was actually able to manage the situation. I have to say that my stomach dropped when the driver told us that we would never make it to the hotel. Therefore, it was better to just stop in the middle and sleep there overnight. Obviously, that wasn't an option for us, so we kept pushing until we got as close as possible to our hotel, and we continued just walking with our backpacks. I have to say that the driver has been really nice. He took my backpack and he walked with us all the way until our hotel. And this kind gesture is just one of the hundreds that I received while visiting Pakistan. We finally made it to our room. We checked in at the hotel and we ordered some food. And our first meal in Pakistan was simply chicken curry, salad and roti. And after that we went straight to bed, watched some Netflix and had a good night of sleep. The next morning we tried to explore, but the city was still shut down, empty, almost frozen in time, except these kids playing football in the middle of the streets. But we were determined to not waste the day, so we rented a driver with the car and we went to Faisal Mosque. Faisal Mosque is one of the iconic symbols of Islamabad. It has been financed by King Faisal from Saudi, and it's definitely one of the most beautiful pieces of art and architecture that I've ever seen. When we arrived to Faisal Mosque, we weren't surprised to hear that because of the lockdown, also the mosque was closed to both visitors and worshippers. Huge shout out to our driver that spoke with the armed guards and asked them to let us visit the mosque, and then all of a sudden, silence. We took off our shoes as it's custom to do in mosques and temples. We walked the stairs towards the main hall and we were welcomed by this majestic, massive, huge mosque surrounded by green mountains. And we were the only visitors inside one of the most iconic mosques in the world. No crowds, no noise, just peace and us. Standing there, it felt really surreal, like we've stopped in a place suspended between architecture and nature. Eventually, we had to leave and we drove to another place that we wanted to visit in Islamabad, and that was Daman Eco. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but it's a panoramic view of the city and it's one of the highest points from where you can see the whole of city of Islamabad. We arrived there quite late and we had the chance to see a little bit of the view, but unfortunately on the way up we were stopped by some monkeys. We thought it might be dangerous, so we just left it and we went home. By the third day, Islamabad began to wake up again and we decided to do one of the activities that I love the most, shopping. We went to St. Towers Mall, an incredible 3-tower massive mall that has a mix of traditional and modern. I love to check all the shops, the ones that sell the dresses, the gold and the spices, and obviously I couldn't resist from trying a few clothes, and obviously I couldn't resist buying a few pieces. This is Silva Kameez and it's the women's traditional Pakistani dress. I tried a few of them and they are all equally nice and beautiful. I tried this, and also this one. After the shopping, we ended the day with dinner at Kabul Restaurant. This restaurant has been suggested by our driver and I have to admit it is really good. Everything we had was tasty and very good. Apparently, it's the hot spot at the moment in Islamabad, so if you're in the area, check it out. The next morning came early. A flight to Gilgit was waiting for us at 5 a.m. in the morning. And when I say Gilgit, I say Hunza Valley. Hunza is a different world from Islamabad. Honestly, it's a different world from everywhere else I've ever been. But that story will have to wait for the next episode. So subscribe now and join me as I take you deeper into Pakistan through mountains, culture, food, and the unforgettable people who made this journey so special. This was only the beginning. Bye!